Hey everyone, welcome to Belly Strong. We've reached week 28 of pregnancy and this full body workout today is 30 minutes long. You'll just need a mat. Remember to stay hydrated, take breaks as necessary throughout, and subscribe to the channel to know when our videos are coming out. We'll start with a warm-up in standing, and our first move is a windmill with a shoulder touch in between. So your knees can be slightly bent or they can be straight depending on how much of a stretch you want. But you'll get a little bit of a twist of the upper body and you should feel it stretching anywhere down the backs of the legs or into that lower back. 4 more. 3, 2, 1, wide legs, fingertips on the floor. You're just lunging from side to side, feeling the stretch in that inner thigh area. You can also do this up here if it's a bit difficult to get down, but if your fingertips are on the floor, keep that back nice and straight. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Standing back up, hands clasped above you, and you're just pulling one arm as you side bend. It's not a very big side bend. Most of the stretch is happening up here rather than down there. Pull and stretch. It's almost like you're trying to pull one arm up to the ceiling. 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll then do a few tabletops. Keep the knees slightly bent, back straight, and you're just hinging forward and coming back up. So as you hinge forward, you should feel it stretch in the hamstrings or the calves. Keep a bit of tension in those abdominals. 4, 3, 2, 1, and back to our windmill. Down, back to center. Keep that chest open. 4, 3, 2, 1. Wide legs and lunge from side to side. So these lunges stretch out those inner thigh muscles, which can sometimes get quite tight, especially if you're starting to experience any pelvic girdle pain. So this is a good mobilization, as long as you don't overdo it. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands clasped, slight side bend, shifting from side to side. Really pull that arm as you bend over to one side. 3, 2, 1. Tabletop, knees slightly bent, back straight, hinge forward. So this is mobilizing the nerves that run up and down the legs and just getting a bit of a stretch into all of the tissues along the back as well as those glutes. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, we'll continue to work on the legs now in standing with a plie and knee lift. So knees and toes facing out. You're bending down into a plie and then lifting one leg up into a balance. Plie and lift. Down, lift. So it's not a fast movement. You want to take your time to also make sure that when you lift that knee, you're balancing. You're not lifting that leg and then falling out of it straight away. Ooh, like that one. Down, squeeze the glute of the standing leg to help you balance. Down and up. Try to keep twisting your legs out or turning them out. So we're also working the glutes. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Then we'll squat, hands behind the head, squat down, and you're gliding from side to side here, keeping that squat nice and deep, or as deep as you can. This can be made easier by bringing the arms down, but if you can, keep them up and glide. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Standing up, turn to the side. We've now got a lunge. So bring that pelvis under. Step back, hands behind head, and you're reaching down to one side and then down to the other. So you're reaching towards the floor with that bottom hand. You don't necessarily have to touch the mat, but you're trying to get there. And down. If this is a bit too much for you, you can just hold a lunge here and instead twist, which is a smaller movement, or just hold the lunge here and pulse. Otherwise, let's do 4 more. 3, 2, 1. Come back up. Other side, tuck that pelvis under to protect that back. And we reach down. Keep breathing. And take it at your own pace. Keep it going. 4, 3, 2, and 1. And come up. Oh, I can feel my quads burning today. We'll do that again, starting with our plies. Stand up nice and tall. Twist those legs out as you plie and lift. Down, squeeze the glutes, squeeze the abs to help you balance. You can do this slower than me or faster than me, as long as you're keeping the correct form and going at your own pace. Down and up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands behind the head, squat, and we're gliding from side to side. Keep the chest up, tension in those abs. Breathe. You should feel those quads working and those glutes. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Whew. Turn to the side, lunge back, pelvis tucked under, ribs flat, and reach from side to side. So it's not so much a forward bend, it's more side. Down and up. Bracing those abdominals to keep you stable. 3, 2, 1. Up. Quick shake, switch over. Pelvis tucked under, abs braced. Whew. Down, side to side. Keep thinking about tucking that pelvis under. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and up. Whew. Give those legs a little bit of a shake, a few knee bends. We're moving down onto the mat now into a downward dog knee pedal. So round that spine. Walk forward and push the hips up into a downward dog. Knees do not have to be straight here, but we're pedaling the feet here. Alternately bending and straightening the knees, so you should be feeling a bit of a calf stretch. You can also let the hips go with you through that movement for more of a mobilization. 8 more. 4, 3, 2, 1, and come down onto your knees. We're now going to go into a kneeling plank up on your hands. If at any point this is a bit too much pressure on the wrists, come down onto your elbows and you can either hold that or add the leg movements that we'll add later. So, hands down. Bring the hips forward, tuck the pelvis under as you flatten the ribs and brace those abdominals. Your knees can be wide to start with. The movement is a shoulder tap. So fairly simple, but what I want you to focus on is not letting that belly drop or start to pouch. So it should still be round rather than forming a pointy hill. The more you take the hips back, the easier it will be. But if you've got good control, bring those hips forwards. 4 more. 3, 2, 1. We're now adding on. We're going to do 2 shoulder taps and a push-up. 1, 2, down, and up. 1, 2, down and up. Really think about those abs. Keep pulling that baby closer toward you. Down. Tap, tap, down. 2 more. Last one. Take a quick break to just roll out those wrists and shoulders, because now we're adding another level. 2 shoulder taps, push up, and then 2 leg lifts. If at any point it becomes a bit too challenging to control, then go back down to a more basic level. Okay, so pelvis tucked under, abdominals braced. Tap, tap, push up, leg lift, leg lift. Doesn't have to be very high. Oh, I'm getting my order confused. As long as you're doing the movements, it's okay if you mess up the order. Tap, tap, push up, leg lifts. Try not to wobble too much from side to side. Keep those hips stable where they are. 3 more. Two more. Push up. Don't let that back arch as you lift those legs. Last one. And sit back into child's pose. Open the knees up and just stretch forwards. Breathe. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Okay, moving on to our sides. You're going to come down into a side plank. Knees together, feet together. Push out of that bottom elbow and lift the hips up to the ceiling. This is where we start. So we're going to tap those hips down. As we lift up, we're going to open the top leg. Down, lift and open. As you open that knee, don't let the whole body roll back with you, but keep those hips facing forwards. Down and up. Abdominals are braced as always, and you're working these bottom oblique abdominals, squeezing them as you lift. Down, squeeze. 2 more. Last one, you're going to hold it there, and this time we're just moving that top knee. Very small movement, opening it out and back down into what we call a clam. And you're squeezing these hip muscles as you open that knee out. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax a bit. Take the weight off of that shoulder. You can bend towards the opposite side just to stretch out that hip and that oblique a bit. But then we come back down And now we've got down for 3, up for 1. So we come up, leg open, we go down, 2, 3, squeeze up, down, 2, 3, up, keep it going, up, down, 2, 3, squeeze, down, 2, 3, up, abdominals braced. Just 2 more. 1 more. And relax. Just sit up, bend towards that opposite side, open it out. Just once through on each side. So take those feet around to the other side, and we'll start from the beginning. Elbow down. Remember to keep pushing up and out of that bottom shoulder. Hips up. Okay, and we take hips down, open the leg as you come up. You can place your hand on your belly if you want just an outside source or something to remind you to keep bracing those abdominals. Down and up. Really squeeze the hips at the top. Down and up. 3 more. 2, 1. Keep it up there. Pulse that top knee open. Squeezing these hip muscles right here as we work that top leg. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release quickly, sit up, bend the opposite way. Breathe, use these opportunities to get your breath back. And then we head back down, down for 3, up for 1. Always start with pushing out of that shoulder, bracing those abs. And we come up, we go down, 1, 2, 3, squeeze up, 1, 2, 3, up, down, 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 squeeze up, down, 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 and up. Keep it going. And up, down, 2, 3, squeeze, 4 more, 3, 2, and 1, and up. Whew. Breathe, release. We're going to lie down for a bit now, although it won't be much of a break just yet. If you struggle to lie flat on your back, you can come down onto your elbows, or you can do this, some of this in sitting, but it's probably best to come down onto those elbows here if you can't manage to lie flat. But for today, I will be lying flat. And we'll start here. So before we get into the work, let's just do a few pelvic tilts to introduce some movement into that pelvis and low back. And then you'll settle into a middle neutral spine position. Brace the abs, flatten the ribs. Check out our video on how to brace or activate those deep abdominals if you're unsure. And we're going to start with a leg lift. Here, add the other leg in tabletop. Have a look down. Make sure that the belly is flat rather than pointy. And our first movement is a reverse curl. You can bring your knees together if your belly will allow it. Otherwise, you can have them a bit open. And you're just tucking that pelvis under and then releasing. Tuck, almost as if you're trying to lift the hips off the mat. But it's a very small movement, and you should feel these lower abs working to do that. It's basically a pelvic tilt or a pelvic tuck. Making sure that as you tuck that pelvis under, we're keeping our abdominals braced and our abs aren't blowing out or pouching out as we lift those bottom, or as we lift those legs using those bottom abdominals or lower abdominals. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're then going to progress. You can bring your legs down for a quick break if you need to. Otherwise, we're adding on. So we've got a tuck or a curl and a tap down with one foot. Curl, tap down with the other foot. So these are all really small movements, but we're really trying to control the position of that lower back. We're trying to control our abdominals, making sure that everything in this torso area remains nice and still. Keep it going. If you notice you're starting to cone or that belly starting to get a little bit pointy, come down, have a bit of a break, and then reset. Otherwise, we've got 10 more of those to do. You can also have your hands over your belly just to add a little bit of external support. Almost there. 4, 3, 2, and 1. And just bring those legs down for a bit. You can stretch them out, release those hip flexors, because we're going to come back into that tabletop position. We'll start with one level and then I'll show you a more challenging level. So bring that spine into neutral, flatten the ribs, brace the abs. Just bring one leg up into tabletop and bring the opposite arm up to the ceiling. Movement is arm overhead, toe down, come back to center. Thinking of those same key points of trying to keep the belly rounded rather than pointy or coning. And our lower back doesn't arch as we take that leg down. The next level up from here would be to do this with the other leg up in tabletop, but we keep the movement happening on one leg and one arm. You can inhale, arm overhead, exhale to come back to center. Look down, make sure those abdominals are braced. 3, 2, 1. Switch sides. So you've either got both legs up in tabletop, or you've got the opposite leg down. And as you bring that leg and that arm up, think about the abs doing the work. So you're trying to relax these hip flexors or these hip muscles. It's not the leg moving up and down, it's the abs moving that leg for you. 10. It's our last exercise. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And relax. Full body stretch. You're going to straighten out those legs. Arms come overhead. And you're just breathing here. Let the stomach push out, open. Let the ribs open up. And just release as you breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. One more breath. Okay, come back into a sitting position. You're going to cross one leg over the other and then turn the same way as the straight leg, or in the same direction, the same side as that straight leg. And you're going to open up the side of that torso. So not sinking down, but pushing up and out. Breathing in this position. Over to the other side. Leg over, continue with the body to that same side. Open that chest. Okay, back to center. Bring one leg in front of you, other leg out to the side, and you're hinging forward with a nice straight back, hinging forward as you keep turning that toe or that foot up and out. So try not to bring the leg with you. And you should feel a bit of an inner thigh stretch. Okay, switch over to the other side. Sit up nice and tall. Turn that toe back. Hinge forward. Breathe. Okay, come to a cross-legged position. One hand behind the head, grab that elbow and pull it into a tricep stretch. Switch sides. Okay, push back onto your haunches to roll back up into standing. Head is the last thing to come up, and just take 3 deep breaths here. In and out. Last one in. and workout done. I'd encourage you to check out some of the other workout videos for this week. Hope the pregnancy is going well. It's not long before we will no longer be pregnant because baby will be here. I'll see you next time on Belly Strong.